night. 10:26 p.m. in the East, streaming live on Bride48.com. It's time for The Mix. My name is Daniel Brewer. I do not do this show alone. I do it with my best friend, Adam Burns. Adam, how are you this evening?
I'm fine. Lamont Cranston mentioned that he is subscriber number 68 on the YouTube. So the next person to subscribe will be subscriber number 69.
And I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking. And they will be eternally, hallowed on this podcast.
Yeah.
Whoever it is. Although we'll have no way of knowing.
No, they don't give us a list, do they? We can't. It's not
They do, but it's weird. It's weird. They give you a list, but only if of public things. So like if someone has their YouTube privacy locked down where other people can't see their profiles and stuff like that, then when they subscribe to you, you don't know who they are. It's like it carries through to subscriptions. So
right. You were pressed. We both pressed record, correct?
Yes, we both press record.
Just making sure the chat room is reminding us.
Yeah, that is how, Adam, we get the audio of our podcast out to our thousands upon thousands of adoring listeners.
Look, we have so many things going on now with, the Pride 48 stream, the Discord stream, the YouTube live stream, all of these things. So it's just, we're recording on the mixer. It's all these. I want to respond to one other thing in the chat room really fast.
Yes.
Because I want to clarify this for everyone. So now that people are seeing me on video.
Yes.
Big Fatty used to call me, or still calls me, Crooked Hat. Right?
Yes. Oh, Crooked Hat.
But I want to clarify because Gary in the chat room said, Crooked Hat is back. Because last week I was wearing my hat front ways.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm wearing it backwards. But I just want to clarify. No, Crooked Hat is when I used to wear it front ways, but tilted over to the side. You see, and I never do that anymore because I'm almost 45 years old. And I just thought, I've aged out of that. Plus, I don't think that's a style anymore. It used to be a style. And I don't think it's a style anymore. This is backwards. It's not crooked.
You wore it as a style long after it was no longer a style.
Well, I mean, did you survey somebody? How do you know? Were people taking bets on was it a style or not? Was there an announcement on some red carpet somewhere? We don't know.
I mean, these are knowable things. But anyway, here's the thing, Adam. We have a whole bunch of other things, going on. I get it. We're doing this brave new YouTube experiment. So if you're a regular audio listener of ours, just know we will still continue to put out an audio podcast. We will still be putting out an audio podcast as we always have. All we're doing is just adding in the extra ability to see us if you want to. You can see us on our YouTube channel. So this is the exact same podcast episode that goes out via audio is also available on our YouTube channel, which is, for the moment, video.mix-podcast.com.
Yeah. For the moment, are we changing that?
No, I'm saying once we have 100 subscribers, we can actually get youtube.com/mix-. Right now, until you have 100 subscribers, you can't, and we don't. We have 60.
You can go
67, 68.
youtube.com/@thegaymix.
You can do that.
You can do that. Oh God, my brain does not work anymore. Oh my God, we were talking about earlier. I just have to mention this on the recorded show.
What?
I jumped on Geeky Gay from 1,099 to 2,000 because my brain no longer works, people.
Okay. That was, all right. Because you talked about it in the pre-show, I don't think people are fully going to appreciate it. So your daily podcast that you put out is the Geeky Gay. And it, you had published episode 1099. You published that episode 15 days ago. What was that?
I don't know how long it was. A week or two. Oh, yeah. I mean, a couple of weeks.
And then the very next day, instead of posting show number
1100, because I don't know. Look, my episodes are in binary or something. No, that doesn't even work because binary has no two.
So instead of it being episode 1100 the next day, it became episode 2000. So there are 999 missing episodes
Yeah.
The KKK.
Now I've got to go and record 999 episodes, maybe 1 minute long a piece or something.
I feel like that's
stick
really
them in there.
That's all you. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Or I could just go renumber them.
I feel like people, you can't take it back. I've already listened to episode 2000.
You have, but now there's going to be another episode 2000.
It won't be the same.
And I was just, and the thing is, it's not just, you guys, you don't even, I thought I was at episode 2000. In my mind, I was like, wow, I've already done wow, that really flew. I'm at 2000. I thought, hey.
It took a long time to do those first 1,000, but thinking, that second 1,000 just flew by.
In a couple more weeks, I'll be at 2023. I will, literally be matching the year.
Yeah.
And no, Lamont Cranston says today, somehow I missed 900. And then I was like, oh my God, I missed. Anyway, my brain, 44-year-old brain. It's just, yeah.
Adam, thousands upon thousands of our listeners write us every day with these heartfelt, emotional emails thanking me for sharing with them my journey as I learned to run for the Monsters Inc. 10K, which is coming up next week, Adam. Can you believe that? Literally at this point in time, a week from now, I will be asleep because I have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning right after that to go and go down to Epcot to run. But yeah, we're that close to this race, Adam. I've been training for this race for 9 months. So 9 months ago, I had never run a race ever, right? I'd never done any run other than what I was required to do in high school. Like I think I was required to run a quarter of a mile or something like that. Other than that, wasn't a runner. Never ran.
Yeah. I've tried running throughout my life, but my knees have always been bad. So,
and now here I am about to run my first 10K. I ran with my sister last weekend for the first time. We ran together. I drove over to her house. She has this great little trail around the lake out where she lives, which is about 2 miles around. So we ran around that 3 times to do our 10K. So she runs a lot slower than I do. So, and I found myself not getting as winded. So, I definitely back to the whole conversation last week about the treadmill and the pacing and everything. I definitely think it is a pacing thing.
Yeah. But she can run for I would assume she runs for longer periods of time than you do because she's not doing the interval stuff, right? She's doing the interval. Oh, she does I thought because she had already been running for a long time that she just runs it straight through.
No, she is 70. She used to, run a lot more in in college and stuff, but she just recently got back into running a few years ago. But anyway, here's the thing, Adam. I'm there. I'm coming up on the big race week. I still have not decided whether I'm going to dye my hair blue or not. That is on the table.
Wait, is that something that people do? Is dyeing your hair blue a thing?
Well, this is the Monsters Inc. 10K, and if I were to dye my hair and my beard blue, then it would be very like Sully colors.
Right. So you could actually be Sully. You could be that, or isn't the character on X-Men? Isn't he also blue? The Beast
Wolverine,
thing? Yeah. No, not Wolverine.
No. Beast. Beast.
Yeah. Either one of those two. Yep.
Or what's her name? Rogue? Who's the one that can
No. The red hair Mystique. Mystique.
Yeah.
Although you much more fit the Beast look than you do the Mystique look. You don't have boobs as far as I know.
Other than my man boobs.
I haven't seen you in a while.
So let me just get it. So that's my running update. I ran a 10K last weekend with my sister. I'm now in a spot where I am not going to be doing a full week of training this week because I'm advised to have 4 days off before the race. So I will only be running Sunday and Tuesday coming up, and then I will be off running until the race. However, you are going to be traveling. Is that what we're talking about next? About you traveling down here to Florida?
No, not Florida at all. That's done. So,
okay then. Well, I'll just be over here then. Just
No, what I was going to talk about is Mark and I are planning our vacations for the summer. We're really excited about coming to Disney. I think that's all already planned. Or coming to Florida.
We haven't talked about it. We haven't talked about it on the show, but yeah, we do have a big plan. I mean, we talked about a little bit of on Level 13, but we haven't talked about it.
I thought we talked about it on the show, but who knows? So no, I'm talking about it is time for Mark and I to plan our summer.
Yes.
And we always take a big trip because our anniversary is on July 4th. And so we always plan a big trip for July 4th. But this year, because of I feel like I've mentioned my age so many times just on this episode. This is the third time.
45th.
I will just say because of a milestone birthday that I'm having.
Oh, come on. 45 is not a milestone.
Well, Mark is calling it a milestone. I mean, I know normally in the USA we would say, 50 is a milestone, 40 is a milestone.
After you turn 25, it goes, 25 is the last 5 you're allowed to get rid of. It up to 25, you can make a big deal. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. None of this 5 crap. That only, it's like that transition period from when you say that, my child is 18 months old, instead of saying, he's a year and a year and 3/4, or he's
right. It's
like,
well, Mark's the one that said it was a milestone. He said, since it's a milestone, and he has different concept of what milestones are than we do. We should travel in August. So, but he said, why don't we do something in July, but do a shorter trip? And so what we ended up on, and I'm going to need input from you. Well, maybe not, because, I don't know. Maybe you have input, maybe you have no input. You will have to tell me.
Yes.
So the July trip, we are doing Northeast US.
Yes.
So we're going to fly into Boston. And then we haven't really planned the itinerary, but we know we want to go to Maine.
Okay.
I want to go to Acadia National Park because I really love national parks.
Okay.
We want to see a lot of coastal areas, but we haven't really planned exactly. There's Vermont area, the mountains in Vermont, and there's New Hampshire, or maybe the mountains are in New Hampshire anyway.
Do you care about the Cape at all?
Well, that is an option. And at first I thought, the Cape is fancy and rich people and stuff like that. But I don't think it is after looking back.
There's P-Town is there.
So yeah, we're planning our itinerary. We're actually going to be there for 6 or 7 days.
Oh, nice.
So, and I think we're going to do Boston for the 4th because I think they have the biggest, 4th of July celebration.
Yeah. Boston is, the birthplace of the.
We're going to throw tea in the harbor.
Yeah.
Just probably a tea bag.
I would be surprised if you could find any. Like, my fear would be a lot of people are going to go to Boston on July 4th. Like, I would start making reservations now for whatever the July 4th things you might want to do. Like, if you wanted to watch it from a boat out in Boston Harbor and everything, that you'd probably should book that soon. Right.
Right. Well, I mean, the good thing about fireworks is you can see them from anywhere. So we could be in, they're really high up in the sky and, so if you have any I don't know if you see what I don't know, because you lived in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have done any traveling around that area to where you could say, this is a really good thing you should do. I kind of want to go to Salem because, witch trials and I'm into that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. So I never made it up the East Coast above Boston. So, however, Boston itself is a great place. Boston is a really cool little town. They have tours that go around there. We took the duck tour, which goes, it's a driving tour, and then you go into the river, and then you go down the river because you're in an amphibious truck. Yay. Right. But it wasn't expensive, and it was fun, and there's a lot of history in Boston. Mm-hmm. Faneuil Hall, and there's a whole walking trail that you can take there to go through a whole bunch of things. Definitely spend a day in Boston. Other than that, what I can tell you is back, if you're going to come back inland, if you're going to come backward, like Vermont or Connecticut, back inland, I guess a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't, definitely go visit a dairy. Like getting ice cream from, the birthplace of Ben and Jerry's, which is, Connecticut, Vermont. Those are the same kind of cows, the same kind of conditions. So when I lived in Connecticut, I would definitely on a Sunday, go drive to the dairy to get the ice cream that they make fresh there directly from the cows, so, and it's just flavored butter. It's like flavored cold butter. It's delicious. It's just delicious.
I do like ice cream, but when you describe it that way, I'm like, ooh, because some people, when they make buttercream,
yeah,
it is literally tastes like they've taken a stick of butter and added sugar to it. And I cannot stand that. Like, I don't know
what I'm saying is the ice cream has the creamy consistency of butter.
Yeah. Is Tillamook there? No, that's in Washington State, I think.
I do not know. If only there were a network system,
but I don't really
of
Google during the
computers
show
that we could ask. Let's see. Tillamook is in Oregon.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, we're planning that. So let me know as we get. So this weekend we're probably going to.
Hold on. Yeah, Gary in the chat room says Boston Freedom Trail. Yes, that's what I was talking about. The Boston Freedom Trail. Definitely check that out. I don't know. I guess Salem, I hear, is cool. Kennebunkport. If you don't want to go to the Cape,
we might do Martha's Vineyard as another option.
Oh yeah, that's a very boogie area, Adam. That's going to be a very the Cape is not the uppity place. Martha's Vineyard.
It's interesting because there are no 5-star hotels on Martha's Vineyard. You would think there are, but there are not.
I lied. I think I did go north. I went to see the mansions, the Vanderbilt's mansions.
But that's in like Vermont or something, right? Or
I think it's New Hampshire. Maybe. Let's see what? No. It's Vanderbilt Mansion.
Oh, Newport, Rhode Island. Lamont Cranston is telling us.
Thank you,
so anyway, we're going to do that. Although we're probably going to plan our itinerary this weekend because we know that we need to book all our lodging. So
and keep this in mind. Bathhouses. Rhode Island has some really nice ones, but there's no bathhouses in Connecticut.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. So then the second trip in August, we are going to Iceland.
Ooh.
And
now I'm assuming you don't need my
you've never been to Iceland, right?
Never.
We'll let you know, but I will say, and I've said this on Geeky Gay, but the cool thing about the time, I didn't even know this. This was not part of the plan. But the time that we're going, my birthday time, Pride is the week before my birthday, Reykjavik Pride or Iceland Pride or whatever. So we're going and we're going to be able to see the Pride Parade and all of that kind of stuff. Although, I'm not into going to a lot of things, but we'll probably pick one Pride event and go to that one thing,
Did you know it's called Hinsingdagar?
No, I didn't, but I want to do like an ice cave.
Hinsingdagar, as it is known in Iceland, a festival where the whole nation comes together. Reykjavik Pride 2023.
Yeah, it's like the 8th through the 13th or something. But anyway, so we're going to do that. And I think we've decided you can drive all the way around Iceland. But most of the tours that I've seen that drive all the way around Iceland, they take a minimum of 10 days to do that. And we're not going to be there that long. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to home base in Reykjavik. Which we also need to book that hotel this weekend because it's Pride Week and I've read that it books up really fast.
I would imagine.
And so we're going to stay there and then we're just going to we're going to pay for tours to go because I don't want to drive. I don't think, even though they do drive on the right side, so it would be similar to the US.
Maybe you'll meet someone there and they can give you a tour. Maybe you could find a local gay tour guide. You meet a gay person there, you hit it off, and then they can I'll show you around. I don't know what the Icelandic accent is.
I want to do there's this thing where you go down in a volcano. There's an ice cave.
Okay. So Lamont Cranston in the chat room is saying that he's been to Iceland 3 times. If you have questions or want suggestions, I'll be happy to speak with you. So there you go. Lamont Cranston is now volunteering to be your own personal guide to all things Reykjavik. Excuse me, I'm being told it's pronounced Reykjavik.
I think we should look that up. Is there if there was only a place that we could go? Because I'm not so sure if it's.
Let's see, Reykjavik. Let's see. Let's just do this.
Also, Auntie Scott just needs to understand that in Arkansas we have a different pronunciation.
We are looking
thing.
at how to pronounce the name of the capital city of Iceland. How do you say it? Reykjavik. Reykjavik.
Now he says Reykjavik.
Reykjavik.
That's what he's. Is he Icelandic, Daniel?
This is a YouTube video called "How to Pronounce Reykjavik." I'm going to assume that it's the thing. You know what? I just did this the other day. It really annoys me. I accidentally bumped the DPI button on my mouse. That was a YouTube video when I said, "How do you pronounce Reykjavik?"
Won't Google do that as well, like some automated voice or something?
Well, that's what I was hoping for, but I am not seeing that. Primarily because I think that how do you pronounce this is mainly in English and everything. And Drew and Scott have been to Iceland also, so you could ask them for suggestions. I feel like what you should do, Adam, is just start a small chat group with Lamont Cranston and Drew and Scott, and they can give you all kinds of, tips and tricks about Iceland.
Yeah, and I want to do that nude bathing, that they have everywhere, like the. No, they have like hot springs and lava heated water, and they have all these heated pools. Maybe not naked, but I mean,
I am a product of the American school system, so I am quite convinced that Iceland is just a big frozen block of ice. It's right there in the name. Greenland is a verdant field of greenery, and Iceland is a big chunk of ice.
Yeah, it's not nude, Archer. I'm just saying nude because it sounds more provocative to say nude, right?
Okay. Now let's remember, Adam, that they don't know who an archer is or what. So for those of you who may be confused, we record this show live in front of a chat room. The chat room is kind of like the cool kids in the class that like shout out little smart ass things while we're doing the podcast. And we acknowledge them. It's a little two-way conversation that we have going on with the live audience that's listening here. But sometimes, Adam, we forget to mention that to the audio listeners who are not seeing the chat room and not seeing all this stuff. So our friend Archer, who is listening with us live in the chat room, asked if the hot springs were nude, right? Is that what he's asking basically?
Well, he just said nude? Question mark.
Probably for the hot springs. Yeah.
No, I mean, although I will say would Nordic be? I don't know if Iceland would be considered a Nordic country, but I'm just going to go with it.
Again, if only
those countries that are, Finland, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, like all of those icy countries up there. They're all
the Nordic region consists of Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland, as well as the Faroe Islands, Greenland, and Åland. I don't know what Åland is.
Åland? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so yeah, they're very free about like getting in a steam room together naked. Although I think it's men and women, which is a little bit gross. I mean, I don't want some co-ed nudity.
Yeah, Archer is thinking that it was more like you being nude outside of the hot tub. Now, look, let me tell you this, Archer.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around all of Iceland nude.
I've already told him that the best bathhouses are in Rhode Island, and he's like, "No, I don't want to go there." So it's like you don't need to go to Iceland for nude showers. You can, like I'm saying, Rhode Island has some really good bathhouses. You can go there.
I just want to soak in hot water with other people. I'm all about it. Just
like people soup.
Marinate in the juices of other people.
Just
and hot
big bowl of people soup.
Hot people soup. Yeah. Anyway, so if anyone has any suggestions,
like hot people, or
no, they're hot because the water is hot. Well, yeah, if they're hot,
sweaty,
that's
sweaty people. So it's basically a big old bowl of sweaty people.
So, Lamont Cranston saying the one big spoiler about the Blue Lagoon, it's not a natural hot spring. I don't care. They can have a fire under it. They can have heating elements. It's hot water.
I'm excited that you're going to Iceland.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you're going to the other place that you mentioned that I've already forgotten.
The Northeast.
Yeah. But I'm really excited that you're coming here next week, or actually just this coming week. You're going to be here. And I just wanted to remind you I know we talked about it a little bit on level 13 before, but I just wanted to remind you that you are coming to Florida.
Yeah, I am. You say now I appreciate all the tips. I do.
Yeah.
But you say them, and I could have sworn we talked about this on the actual show, but maybe we didn't. But you say them as if I have never been to Florida in my entire life. I have been to Florida so many times.
No, I get it.
And always in the summer. Like I don't think I've ever gone to Florida in the winter, so I wouldn't even know. So it's always,
we don't actually have a winter.
Well, I'm just saying the normal winter, for the US, but I'm just saying, so I know that it's humid. I know that it's very hot and sticky and whatever. And I know that you and Zach get cold so easily, and you're going to try to sweat us out of our room. I know all of these things. I'm not
trying to sweat anybody out of anything.
But it also gets hot in Arkansas. Maybe the humidity is not as much, but it does get hot. Although Marc did say something, which I hadn't really thought about this, but Marc said that Florida is more humid than the Philippines.
Yes.
And I would not have guessed that. He said, "Oh, it's going to be so humid. I'm just going to be dripping water all the time."
Yep.
And I said, because he sweats a lot.
Yeah.
He just gets very sweaty. And I said, "Isn't the Philippines humid?" He said, "Well, not as humid as Florida."
Yeah. So it's the girth of the state, Adam. It's the girth of Florida that makes it more humid than the Philippines. You see,
it's a very girthy state. Is that what you're saying?
State. Yeah, it's a girthy state, which makes it much more moist and humid. Because when if you go to Miami, and the reason that Miami is very popular for people to go to is because it's on the Atlantic Ocean and you have a constant Atlantic breeze. So Miami is not really that humid. Miami it feels pleasant because on top of what humidity there is there, I mean, there is humidity there, but it causes you to sweat, but then the wind blowing over that sweat actually cools you down, and it's a very pleasant feeling. So being in a windy place that is humid, like an island or the Bahamas or, places. But once you get about 50 miles inland, and remember, Disney is in the center of the state.
Yeah, I got it.
So once you get about, 30, 50 miles inland, you don't have that constant breeze coming off the coast. And then it becomes humid and oppressive, like it's sticky and whatever. And I'm not saying, I'm just reminding you to pack for Florida. Make sure you bring your shorts. Make sure you're not going to go to the theme park wearing jeans.
Well, I might because I'm a jeans person. So we will see.
Well, then cut those jeans off.
No, I don't
shorts.
like shorts, but I probably will wear shorts, but it depends on if any of them are fitting me right now, because I'm not going to go and buy new shorts, but we will see. I'm used to wearing jeans in hot and humid weather though, because I wear jeans everywhere. Like everywhere we go. But I understand. Moist and Girthy was my stripper name in the late 90s. So
in the late 90s, yeah, exactly. All right. So I just wanted to remind you about your Disney trip. So I know that we've talked a little bit about ChatGPT and Bard, all of the new little AI tools that we have flying around out there. I got into the Bard beta. I don't know if you did.
I didn't try. I've been using ChatGPT. I didn't try to get in Bard yet.
Microsoft has a whole new designer thing, and Adobe is launching their Firefly product, and it's so there's just, an explosion of AI. And so I was thinking the other day, I'm waiting for my beta invite to Firefly. That'll be fun to play with. But I have the Microsoft Designer one. And of course, everything I've tried in Microsoft Designer has been really cool. That's the one that you can basically tell it, make an Instagram post promoting my podcast called Mix Minus, blah, blah, blah. And it will, put together, it uses both DALL-E and ChatGPT to create an Instagram post with the right colors and everything. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking, I was looking in Teams, in Microsoft Teams, and I was like, that's like some headshot of me from 5 years ago and everything. I really want a better profile picture. So I used an AI system, Adam. I used an AI service. And this is going to be, I apologize to the audio only listeners, because I'm going to be showing some pictures of some
stuff. The one you have in Discord, and I'm not saying it's bad, but the one that you have in Discord, you look like a garden gnome.
Okay. So
or something like that. I mean, I'm just, I expect to see that you kind of over a Travelocity ad, except you're not wearing the red hat. But other than that,
I used a service, an AI service. And what you do with this service is that you send them 20 photos of yourself. So 20 headshots of yourself in different poses, in different, a couple of, medium far away so that they get more of an idea of your shoulders and stuff like that. You're basically training an AI on you. So on what you look like. So you give them these 20 photos and then you pick a bunch of different styles and then it generates profile photos for you. So these are just profile. These are things to use as so these are not 5x7 glossies or whatever. They're very small files, but they're designed to be used for, so like my profile in Teams. When I am in a chat with somebody at work on Teams, they're going to see, a little bubble with a picture in it. And that's my avatar. That's my little, icon or whatever. So they're not big, whatever. So I just wanted to show you some of these that it made for me. And then some of the other ones, I'm just like, what the hell was it thinking? It's just like, I trained you to be an expert on what Daniel Brewer looks like, and that looks nothing like Daniel Brewer. It's like you had one job.
What service were you using?
I can look it up for you later, but there's a bunch of them, and they all kind of use the same thing.
Was it a free one? Because there are some that you have to pay.
No, I paid for this. So, I paid $8 one time, $8 to get, I don't know, 100 pictures or something like that. Right. All right. So let me just give you the general one. So like here is a. Can I drop this in Discord? Yeah. So here is just a standard profile photo that they think, they put me in a collared shirt. It's important to realize that even though it's trained on 20 different photos of me, I've never posed for this photo, right? And you can see that there's something weird with my eyes. They've got some weird kind of glint in them or something like that. But they do the nice little, here it is in the sunset and golden hour and stuff like that. So we start there, right?
They browned your hair a little bit more than it is naturally.
Then here's one. This is the one that I actually ended up using currently as my, as my photo, as my thing, right? So it's not as smooth as the other one. Like I'm not trying to hide wrinkles or whatever. It's not as smooth. Really, basically, this is me, but with my beard cleaned up and without a hair out of place, which is never true. I always have hairs out of place. But that was that one. Then it starts to go a little bit off the rails, right? It's so, here I am. This is, me in sunglasses. I'm guessing in Abu Dhabi or something. I'm not quite sure where that's at. That I got some cool little hotel.
You look like
that.
You've got quite a muscular chest there in that photo.
Yeah, that's not me. That's not me, right? That's them.
Right.
And then it does this, right? Now, who the fuck is that? Who the hell is that? Because that's not Daniel. I trained you to be an expert in Daniel Brewer, and you toss this shit at me. Who is this? Is like this could be like a cousin of mine or something. It's not me. That's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. They put all these things together. Like here is me. Well, let's see. We'll start from the ones that are like.
Now, audio listeners, we will say this. It will be visible on the video, but so you can go to YouTube and look at that. But you can also go to the Discord channel and look at them later if you want, if you're not doing the video.
That would be James Bond.
James Bond. Brewer.
James Bond.
Daniel Brewer.
Yeah, if I were some kind of, let's say, like a resistance fighter or something like that, I could, have this here. If I was some kind of, I don't know, fur trapper, I could, in the Arctic region there's me with my.
You're getting close to Santa Claus in that one. Kind of a really naturistic Santa Claus.
I am. Here I am as a cartoon character, apparently with a sidekick. I'm not sure what the sidekick is all about, but I've got a little dog on my shoulder.
The sidekick is really cute.
Here I am as an adventurer in some kind of video game or something. I'm not really entirely sure what that's all about there. Here I am definitely in like I went to a Star Wars con. Definitely, I just came back from a Star Wars convention.
You're very Harrison Ford looking there.
Here I am, if I was trying to sell you real estate in Manhattan, this would be me trying to sell you some real estate. And then the one that I chose to use for my Discord avatar is actually this. It made me into a little bobbleheady kind of a character.
Yeah, you look like the Travelocity Gnome.
Yeah.
I mean, put a red hat on that and you are the little ad they do in Amazing Race.
So anyway, it was fun. It was cool. And so I have all these profiles that I can pull out now. I figured, you know what, $8. I've spent $8 on a drink before. So, that's fine.
That's cool. No, some of them look nice. Some of them look like they've put you on a green screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, this is me, but it's like, especially the Dubai one or whatever, it looks like you're interpo or whatever you call it, where you're put over a green screen. But
which is funny because with the Adobe Photoshop, with their Sensei stuff that they do there with the object selection, it's actually gotten quite good. When we went to Disneyland, we had our picture taken in front of the castle, and this group of teenage girls came up behind us while the photo pass people were taking our photo, and they set up shop behind us taking photos. And then the photo pass people are like, ma'am, this is an area, but they'd already taken the pictures. So we have our best pictures in front of the castle have these girls leaning over and squatting right behind us. And it's very distracting. But with Photoshop, I was able to pull us out of that picture completely and then put a clean slate of the castle behind us, and then put us back exactly where we were standing on the sidewalk in the other picture. And then so we were at the right scale, and then just did a little Gaussian blur on the back and then pulled it. It's so I was able to fake a really good picture in front of Snow White Castle.
Yeah. No,
almost called it Cinderella Castle, Adam.
Almost. Yeah. Almost. Or you almost
castle,
called it Cinderella's castle is what you mean.
No, I would no. The one in California is not Cinderella Castle. Cinderella Castle is the one in Florida.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Cinderellas versus Cinderella.
No. Sleeping Beauty. I'm so sorry. It's not Cinderella. It's Sleeping Beauty Castle is in California.
Right.
And she's been asleep for a while. Those trees have grown up over the top of her. Anyway, let's do this, Adam.
3, 2, 1. Contact is the secret. Is the moment when everything happens. Contact is the answer. Is the reason that everything happens. Contact. Let's make contact.
Excellent. It is the contact segment of the show. This is a segment of the show where we read your emails, play your voicemails. By the way, Adam, I forgot to tell you, that's a relatively safe spot of the video, because when I published the video version, I put the contact video there. So we have the contact video is playing over the top of us there.
So you're saying I can pick my nose or something like that?
There's a time that you want to kind of goof off, and stop worrying about where the camera is or whatever. If you need to pick your nose or take a drink or something like that you wouldn't normally do on camera, that's a good spot to do it.
Okay.
So anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, Adam, do we have any emails this week?
Well, since you played the contact music, I guess we do, because we were discussing whether or not we were going to read, level 13. So we got an email. It's from Sliderco.
Yeah.
Not really sure how I should be pronouncing that.
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik. He says, "Hey guys, love the show. Been subscribed now for a few months and always look forward to the next episode. Cool. Love that you guys are doing this on video as well. Would love to join level 13. Thanks."
Excellent.
And I don't know if he wants us to give his name. Sliderco.
No, sorry.
In Denver.
And he did. He joined level 13, and he's here this evening in the chat room listening to us babble on live. But Adam, you bring up a really good point that we are doing video now. I know we've talked about this before. I just want to make this official. You can watch the video version of this podcast on either Spotify or on YouTube. So on Spotify, if you look us up on, Mix Minus, you'll find us there. And it starting like about 4 episodes ago, it will give you the option to play the video version of this show.
I was going to ask you, does it give an option to have a video RSS feed? Because some podcasts do video RSS feeds as well.
Right. It doesn't need it because our RSS feed tailors. So if you're watching it on Spotify, it'll offer you the video version. Everyone else gets the audio version, and Spotify handles our RSS feed. So, and then YouTube has the video version also. So you can go and watch the video version on YouTube, or you can watch it on Spotify, either one, if you want to watch the video. And that's how you do it. Cause I know that sometimes it's confusing as to where things are and, what do I have to do to be able to see it? Like, is the video only during the live show, whatever? No, when we publish the episode, we also publish the video at the same time.
That's how they get you on Spotify. They want people to go, oh, I want to see the video. Oh, you can only watch that on Spotify. You can't.
There you go.
You don't have an RSS feed of the video.
Right.
You have to go to Spotify to see that.
That's right.
To see their handsome faces.
Or YouTube. Because we also take the time to put it over on YouTube. Anyway, that's all that I guess we have in the contact segment, right? We have no phone calls.
It is no phone calls. No one died, and no one cares to call us unless someone dies. So,
I mean, it was my birthday.
I will reiterate. Yes, we have a contest where when celebrities die, you call in. If they did die and you didn't kill them, and we think that they were a celebrity.
Yes.
We put $1 in the pot.
We add $1 to the pot.
At some point whenever we have the Pride 48 streaming weekend, which I guess we need to talk about at some point, we will draw a winner and then they will get that money.
Yes.
But you can also call us for anything.
Yes.
You can tell us what you ate for lunch.
Yeah. Phone number is the same, 707-61-DEATH. You can call us for any reason under the sun. Yeah. And we'll say hello.
If you're about to die, you can call us. No, I mean, I don't want to get too morbid there, but you can tell us anything, really.
Yeah. If you're about to die,
but no phone calls. No phone calls this week.
Yeah. So we have no phone calls this week. We have, thank you, everyone. We really do appreciate it. That was a fun segment.
3, 2, 1.
All right. I've been doing some poking around with AIs this week, right? And if you watch these YouTube shorts or the TikToks or anything like that, you'll find these people that are like, I asked ChatGPT how to turn $300 into $10,000 in the fastest way possible, and it laid out a business plan for me, and I'll give you the prompts that you should follow to do this, right? And so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, I'm in the Bard beta. Let me just ask Bard this question, right? Because you and I have decided, all right, we're not unhappy with the number of listeners that we have, but when you see other podcasts on YouTube that have, thousands of views, and you're looking at yours and you're like, well,
or in the RSS feed, not just YouTube, because YouTube's relatively new.
No, I'm just saying when I watch somebody on YouTube, like when I watch their podcast on YouTube, I will see that they've had thousands of viewers. I know that we're averaging around 40 or so viewers on YouTube, but that's because the people that download our show in the RSS feed don't necessarily go to YouTube.
So I'm just saying in general, whether we're talking about YouTube, because we just started that really, or we're talking about the actual RSS feed.
Okay.
Or the
all I'm trying to say.
No. Let me finish. What I'm saying is, for the quality of show that we do, I think in toto, we should have more viewers / listeners than we currently have.
Okay.
I love all the ones that we have.
Yes. That's what I'm trying. That was the point I was trying to make. I don't know why you wouldn't just let me make that point. That is the point. That we have decided that we're trying to figure out how to get more listeners. So I asked Bard.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be very generic answers, right? But yeah, what did Bard say?
I said to Bard, I've been hosting an LGBTQ plus podcast for the last 2 years. Give me a plan to expand my listener base. Currently, it is hosted on both YouTube and Spotify, and the podcast is produced in both audio and video formats. That is what I asked of it. So, this is what it says.
Number 1, you need to be a twink. No, just kidding. Keep going. Sorry.
It says promote your podcast on social media. Share your episodes on your own social media channels and reach out to other LGBTQ plus friendly accounts to see if they'll share your content. You can also use social media to connect with potential listeners and answer their questions about the show. Now, we have been using TikTok recently to drive people to awareness of our show, right? So we'll take clips of the show and we'll put them on TikTok. We'll also take we did a moon phase thing the other day, like a little, whatever the current trend kind of a thing is. When you're here this week, we'll do some together. That'll be fun. But I'm just saying, all it is just dragging people so that they'll go and look at our profile, and then the profile has a link to our YouTube, ergo the podcast, right? So that is a way to promote that. So I figured that was good, right? We do that. I think the only note I would add here is that maybe we would want to think about making an Instagram account, because right now I am morally opposed to using Twitter. Just me. And and I get it that you're not, and that's fine. I am not. And so I think the only other thing other than like Facebook is Instagram, right?
Yeah, and Facebook is only boomers. I guess, are you a boomer? What are you?
I am not a boomer.
What are you?
Fuck you.
I don't know. I don't even know what I am.
I'm Gen X. Okay. I'm a Gen X.
I think I'm also Gen X, but you're like 10
Gen X
years older than me, right?
I was right at the beginning of Gen X. I am as old as you can be and still be considered Gen X.
I don't know. Anyway, no, I mean, yes, we are, well, you are posting on social media. I'm just letting you do it. Or we need a social media manager.
We need to change that. Yeah, we should think about doing that. Anyway, my point is, we should maybe think about Instagram. Instagram has Reels, so we can take the same video and put it on, so when we do the video clips, we can do it on all three.
Right.
All right, so their next suggestion was to have guests on other podcasts. Now, this is something that, we've had guests on our podcast before.
Yep.
But we have not been guests on other people's podcasts for a very long time.
True.
We have not really, and it dawns on me that I haven't really put myself out there.
It's true. It's funny. We run a podcast network of probably about 40 active gay LGBTQ plus podcasts, but we, what you gonna do?
So what I did was I said, let's see, let me get down here to the thing.
I always get these marketing emails. So-and-so would like to be interviewed on your show. And I just ignore them because I'm like, interviews suck. Let's
see. Can I see the actual? Oh, it didn't save it. Anyway, so my point is that I was thinking to myself, you know what? The podcast that I listen to every day, the Daily Tech News Show, they have theme weeks and theme months and stuff like that sometimes. And I figured, you know what? I should just write an email to Roger, their producer, and just be like, look, I'm, for Pride Month is coming up. If you guys are looking for, an LGBT voice that is in the tech field, here's my tech bona fides, right? I'm a working programmer. I keep up on tech news. I have a podcast and video podcast system, so I'm fully equipped with a microphone and camera and everything. I can drop right in. I've been podcasting for 10 years, so I'm good at extemporaneous speech, right? I can talk about subjects. So I figured the worst they can say is no, right?
Oh, Archer has a good point in the chat room. You can also tell them that you could help them with their audio.
I could, yeah. I could start sending out emails to other podcasts to see what they're... No, I'm just saying, if we're going to be guests on another podcast, right, the point is you want to kind of find someone who is more popular than you.
Or we could go on, you and I could do the Amazing Race together. And we could say every time, just put a little, at the gay mix or whatever at the bottom. Wow, we get millions of viewers / listeners.
You know, all the podcasters that have ever been on those shows, they don't ever get to talk about their podcast. Like, people would have to go and find them. I mean, they ultimately benefit, whatever.
I say, I'm a podcaster. You can find me if you Google me.
And whatever happened to Reagan Fox? Wasn't he like a podcaster that then went on Big Brother, and then he like kind of just, I think he just is a professional Big Brother contestant now. Like, he's just goes around to all the conventions and all the things that they basically
Andy
pay.
Scott
he's
in
still
the chat
podcasting.
room says he's still podcasting, just not regular.
Okay.
So.
Oh, he's on Madge's show sometimes. Okay. But yeah, I feel like we haven't really done that, right? We've been kind of lazy. We haven't really put ourselves out.
I will admit I'm a lazy podcaster. I will admit.
Oh, I should go on everything from top to bottom. Is there? I don't know that they have as many listeners as us. So I don't know that would really put us in front of. I guess it would put us in front of a much younger audience. Definitely.
Yeah, I do find our listenership skews. No offense to anyone, but skews our age and older.
Right, because that's what we talk about. We talk about things that are applicable to people. We talk about
our bowel movements and, taking fiber pills. And
I mean, no, I'm just saying, but we don't spend every show talking about like going out to a club or, going out and doing the latest concerts and stuff like that, because we're not young 20-year-olds. That's what they do, right?
What do the young, I always thought when I was younger, well, there's no real difference. Like, why don't older people, and it wasn't a big concern of mine, to be honest, because I've always been kind of old anyway, even when I was younger. But I would think, how do older people get out of touch with things that, me as a younger person, but now that I'm older, like, I have no idea how those young people talk. Or whatever, I don't know what they say. I don't know what are apparently things can be bussin' or whatever. That's a thing. Or I don't.
I feel like, there are, I love listening to everything from top to bottom because they are younger, right? And so I do kind of, hear kind of third hand what the younger gays are doing nowadays. And that's kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, you and I are us, right? It's like the chat room's even saying that they enjoy listening to people around my age because we're all kind of going through the same things, right?
True.
Like these are part of the lives that we're going through the things that I'm 10 years ahead of you.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah. 11 years ahead of you.
Yeah. You never give me advice. Like, here, Adam, here is how you can handle.
You know what? I did. I gave 40s. you advice and you poo-pooed it. I said, actually two pieces of advice, Adam, and I'm going to, would you like me to repeat those two small pieces of advice right now?
Sure. Yeah. Repeat them.
Number 1, you should drink fiber every day. You should take fiber every day.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm telling you, taking fiber every day, as you get older, maybe you're not as regular, maybe it's, sometimes you don't drink enough or whatever, and you end up with, oh my God, how many rolls of toilet paper do I have to use to clean my damn butt, right? So fiber solves all of that. If you take fiber every day, you have nice consistent poops. They're not causing any problems. They're like, everything is flushed and it's good and it's great. Okay.
Now that we're both getting older, everyone in the audience, we're going to have a segment on what consistency was our poop.
Yep.
That particular day. We're just getting to that.
There you go. No, Archer, you don't want to use butt wipes. Butt wipes are bad for the environment. They're very toxic and everything. Get a bidet. Get a bidet, Archer. For God's sakes, just get a bidet. You're a big old bottom. You'll love a bidet. It's like
Mark and I were
like someone gently rimming you after you poop.
Oh, but I don't want to think of.
That's because you're not a bottom, Adam. If you were a bottom, you would be like,
no. I don't want to think about. No.
Then get rid.
I don't want to think about somebody immediately after I poop. Rimming, but like that is not a good. Rimming is great, but I don't want to think about like immediately following the bathroom break. Then I like that. That is not a.
Yeah.
Mark and I were discussing the other day. Speaking of bidets, in Europe, you will find a lot of times that they will have a toilet, just a regular toilet, with a bidet next to it.
Yeah.
And he said, isn't that kind of a waste of space? Why don't they because a lot of the bidets you get here in the US, they have it built into the regular toilet.
Yeah,
and then it just,
exactly.
But they will have 2 separate bowls next to each
Yes,
other. Also,
yes.
if you think about it, you're trying to use those and you're squatting and you've done your business, and then you have to somehow kind of in a squatting position move yourself over to the other bowl, right? And then wash it and then kind of move back. It seems inefficient.
Wait, why are you moving back?
Well, I guess you don't have to move.
You don't need
I don't
to
guess
move
you have to
back.
move. Well, if you want to rest a little bit longer before you stand up.
I mean, the bidet doesn't have to be running. You can still sit.
The bidet doesn't have a seat. Generally, you just squat over it and it's, it just. And what was that? Was fiber
that
was number one.
Fiber was number one. Are you ready for number two?
I'm ready.
Number two, Adam. This is a universal thing that I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those life-changing things that when you realize that it happens to other people, you're like, oh my God, thank God, because I thought it was just me. And it's like, let me give you an example. When I am walking down the hallway sometimes, right, and I go into the bathroom and I turn and I catch a glimpse of myself in the bathroom mirror, I momentarily go, oh my God, because I don't think of myself as someone with a gray beard who's 56 years old, right? I don't feel 56. I don't think 50. I still think of myself as, someone who's like 30, right? It's like I still have the same likes and tastes that I did when I was in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? It's like I haven't really changed that much since my 30s. So I just always kind of that's my baseline. I just kind of think of myself as someone in their 30s. And so I catch a look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I'm not 30. And other people my age will tell you the same thing. That is something that happens. The other thing that may happen that is universal that you don't necessarily know.
Well, what's the advice there, though? You're just telling me something.
I'm getting to it, Adam.
Okay.
Let me set it up.
Okay.
This is very important. I'm trying to set this up for you, Adam, because when I give you this piece of advice, your gut feeling is going to be to fight me on it. Your gut feeling is going to be, oh, no, right? So I have to tell you these other truths before we get there. The other thing that happens to people that are my age and older is one day you will say something and then you will stop and look around for your dad because what you just said was something that your dad would say, something that you would never say, but your dad would say. My dad would make the corniest damn jokes at restaurants to the serving staff or to the hostess, right? Every time he would make these stupid jokes. And then I go to a restaurant and they give me my plate of food. I eat all the food. They come back and they're going like, how was everything? And I go, I'm sorry. All I got was this empty plate. I'm still waiting for my food to arrive, right? Some stupid thing. I would never say that. My dad would say that, but here he is coming out of my mouth. My dad is like, I've suddenly turned into my dad. These are all things that we all go through as we age, Adam. We recognize these things and we discover these things. Now, here's the advice.
Yes, I was waiting with bated breath. Is it with bated breath?
The advice goes to a third universal truth that we don't talk about that often. And that is that as you age, orgasms start to feel less. Let's just say that they start to feel less. They maybe aren't as intense as they used to be. They're not as good as they used to be. That this is something that it starts to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if I were to tell you, Adam, this is my piece of advice. What if I were to tell you there's a way to solve that? There's a way to actually make it so that your orgasms are back to where you were in your 30s. They're
you've
back
told me this before.
To baseline. Adam, it is called Kegel exercises.
Now, are you saying those are going to solve all three of those things? My looking in the mirror and thinking that, my God.
No. I was just trying to, because when I tell you that orgasms feel less when you get older, your natural inclination is going to be telling me, no, that's not true. No, I believe you
because it's already started to happen to me and I'm
Kegel exercises, Adam. You need to look up Kegel exercises and they're super easy to do. You do them a couple times a day. You can do them anytime. You can be sitting, you can be standing, you can be in the shower. You can do them at any time because they're internal muscles, right? So it's not like you're having to pick
They really
up something.
strain those muscles though. It kind of doesn't feel good after a while.
Then you're doing too much. You build up to it slowly. But my point is that once you've done those for a while, for a couple of weeks, it doesn't really take that long. For a couple of weeks, then you're like, holy shit. Like, why isn't this on the internet? Why isn't this, like published? I'm sure it is on the internet, but, it's one of those things where you just think to yourself, is like, oh, I'm so fat and out of shape that orgasms don't even feel good anymore. That's how much of a slob I am, or how much of a, and then you find out later, oh no, that's a part of the aging process that just happens. And here's what you can do to combat that. And it's like, huzzah for
Daniel,
that. There you go. Dan in the chat room has posted a wiki article on the Kegel exercise.
It's hard for me to, developing habits is difficult for me. Anything. And I'm trying to slowly get back into exercising and drink more water and all that kind of stuff.
You drink 2 glasses of water a day.
But it's
exercise every day.
But I will try. But I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it.
What? I don't know.
I forgot what I was going to say. My brain went from 1,099 to 2,000 and now I literally was just thinking something and I can't remember what it was I was going to say.
Right. While you think about what you're going to say, let me just wrap up this whole Bard thing. So I asked Bard how to make our podcast more successful. Told us to promote it on social media, which I think we should do Instagram. 2, that we should be a guest on other podcasts, which we'll work on.
Do Kegel exercises. Number 3.
No, that was a whole sidetrack, Adam. That was like an entire bonus episode. Take fiber and Kegel exercise. That was like an entire bonus episode that you got right there. Here's the problem. So, what I'm trying to say is Bard gave us 2 great suggestions that we're going to follow, but here's the problem. The next and final bullet point here. Create engaging content. That's where we fuck up, Adam. We're not creating engaging. Nobody wants to hear about fiber and Kegel exercises. But we have such good
chemistry, Daniel. We have such great chemistry.
Fiber and fucking Kegel exercises. That's what we're doing here. Oh my God, we talked so long on that my stupid thing went to.
I would argue that I think we do have an enjoyable podcast, and it just hasn't been marketed enough. I think that's the problem. Yeah.
All right. I wanted to talk about us getting an Instagram account, but I also wanted to propose that we just go ahead and pull the trigger on changing the name
to the Gay Mix.
Yes, to the Gay Mix. Yes.
I mean, we can do that. Originally you were going to have a separate feed and call it the Gay Mix, but that is a lot of extra work.
That's a lot of extra work. I say let's just go ahead.
What does the chat room think about that? Should we add the word gay to our title? Will that draw in thousands of listeners or whatever?
When you search for things, right? You're searching with keywords, and I don't know how the iTunes search thing works. I do know on Spotify, like if you type gay Disney on Spotify podcast, you'll find Don't Do Disney. Because will that get us banned in Florida? Because now with the Don't Say Gay bill, this podcast has gay in it. That is very, very possible. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. That was all that was. Is I just wanted to bring that up.
So No Dan says nope to the Gay Mix. He does not like it. I am geeky gay, and I've found no uptick in listeners because I have gay in the title. But
All right, go ahead and, do you want to talk about these drag bans that are happening everywhere?
That's probably something we could talk about in the Level 13.
What is Level 13, Adam?
Level 13 is the behind the scenes club that we have. It's absolutely free. It is super secret. It is a super secret club.
It's not secret.
And you can join, and what you get for joining is,
what do you get, Adam?
You get a private Discord channel that hardly anyone ever chats in, but it is there. You can get directly to us.
Yes.
We respond when I remember that Discord exists.
Yes.
And you have that, but more importantly, you get extra episodes
Ooh.
that are after the show. We keep talking.
Bonus episodes.
And it's us unfiltered.
It is.
I mean, if
it is
live and unfiltered. And that's the main thing that you get. And you get those, you get a special feed just with those.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And how do you join, Adam?
You have to email us, contact@mix-podcast.com.
There you go.
And
an email,
say, I would like to join level 13.
and we will get that information out to you. That's excellent. All right, then I'll just move the drag ban over to the, cause I have a sound clip and everything like that. Like I had stuff.
Well, if you wanted to, I mean, you were just asking me if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
I feel like here's what I'm scared of, Adam. This is why I'm hedging here on this. Is I feel like did you just ask? Did No Dan just ask like Mid-Journey or something to make a logo for a show called Level 13? Here's my fear, Adam.
Yes.
The people doing the banning are your people.
Are my people? What?
Yeah.
You're like
the Christians. They're the and the church going Christians. These are the people that are doing this. And what I have to wonder is the majority of the people that I know that go to church don't agree with these things. Like the majority of the people that I know that go to church recognize the fact that guys wearing wigs and makeups and reading books to children is not some sexual performance, right? They're like, whatever. It's a clown. It's the same as having the guy make the balloon animals, whatever. They're taking care of my kids for like 20 minutes that I don't fucking have to. But my point is that where are these people at? Where are you? Where are they? And that's what I don't want you to get mad at me.
What do you mean? Where are they? Here.
Why aren't you standing up? Like here? No, here's my thing. Like if there was a very small homosexual group out there that was loudly telling everybody else that we like to wear pink. We only wear pink. And if everyone has to wear pink, and we're going to start passing legislation for you to wear pink because that's what it means to be respectful of homosexuals, that you have to wear pink. That's the only, otherwise you're offending all the homosexuals if you don't wear pink. Me as a homosexual would say, wait, that's not true. You don't speak for me. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. Homosexuality, like the gay community, is about acceptance for everyone. And we don't require anyone to do anything. That's like exactly the opposite of what we're trying to say. So where are these Christians? Where are the Christians standing up to these fucking bullies? They're just bullies, Adam. They're just bullies that are repressed in some weird kind of way, that they're scared that the watching a drag queen is going to turn them gay. It's just, I want the Christians to stand up to these idiots, because they can't be the majority of the Christians in this country, because
in the South it is the majority. I can tell you that right now. There would only be maybe one or two people in a congregation that would be okay with drag queens and shows and other things. In Arkansas, I may be the only one. And that's because I'm gay.
Why? What is so scary about it? Listen to, all right, so it turns out,
I don't agree with them. I don't know.
There's all right, so there's 18 states that have passed laws.
By the way, Arkansas did not pass the anti-drag thing. They took drag out of the bill. So I just want to say that again. I mean, I understand that Arkansas is backwards. Okay. I'm not saying, but Arkansas took drag out of the bill. So we are not one of the states.
As it turns out, there is a organization that's behind this, right? Like for these 18 states didn't all spontaneously decide that they were going to put legislation out to ban drag shows, right? This was legislation that was written by a think group sponsored by the Heritage Foundation, whatever. I was like, there was a literal organization behind that is basically helping these congressmen craft the laws that they're going to pass in these states, right? It's like, we're going to help you get some more money in your coffers, congressman, if you just take this legislation and take it to the floor. This is going to, that's how things happen in government. Congratulations.
No, I will say, Go ahead.
But so this is where the clip comes in. So this is the guy responsible for this, the guy that heads up the think tank that is responsible for this legislation. Here is him being interviewed by Vice on YouTube. So this is, we're picking it up. It's in the middle of this, 15-minute documentary on YouTube that you can watch called God's Law, The Fight to Ban Drag in Idaho. But this guy that's ahead of this organization, here's the short conversation between him and the reporter.
The same idea of what's offensive.
I firmly believe that drag shows are sexual in nature. When you expose children to that type of material, it will harm children.
Where is your evidence that seeing a drag show causes harm to a child?
So there is a wealth of scientific and academic literature that demonstrates the harm caused to children by sexual conduct. There's a reason why.
See what they're doing there? See what they're doing?
But what is that? Can you give me like the name of the paper and the page number that it's on?
Yes, absolutely. I could. I don't have to be him. I could because.
Oh, is there really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Think about what he just said. He said there's a lot of literature and academic papers out there that show that exposing children to sexual conduct is harmful to children. Yes, of course. Touching a child in his genitals, like fingering him in his butthole, like all kind of like raping a child, it can absolutely. So you see what he's doing here. He's established up front. He considers all drag to be a sexual performance. And then from that point on, he can argue everything from the standpoint of rape, right? He can now equate everything that he wants. So you're going to ask him a question about drag shows, and he's going to, I've already told you, I view drag shows as rape. So therefore, I'm going to answer the question as if I was to ask me about rape. That's exactly what they're doing. And that's the thing that's just blowing my fucking mind is, when has this ever worked out well for people? When you're on the oppressive side of a minority, like when you're like, how well did that work out for the Nazis? Like how well did that work out for the the Ku Klux Klan? How well did all of these? It's like you're on the wrong side of history, and I just don't understand why the normal everyday Christians aren't like coming and standing up and going, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We were told to love everyone, period. There was no caveats to that. Love everyone. It was a quite simple directive.
So I don't think they should ban it at all. And I think it should be up to parents what they, allow their children to see. I will say, when you go to a gay club and there is a drag show, some of the humor that is used can be sexual in nature, just like we talked about rimming earlier. And probably I would not want a child to listen to our show and hear us talk about rimming.
Okay, but that's not drag, right?
But drag, if like the ones where the drag queen goes to the library and reads them books,
right?
Or things like that. I mean, there's nothing sexual about that at all.
So it's almost like you're saying that the performance has nothing to do with whether the person's in drag or not. The performance has to do with what the context of the performance is.
Correct. So, that's what I'm saying.
There's no one in the universe arguing that we should allow children to go and watch like an orgy, right? There's no one arguing it. No one is suggesting that. No one is bringing that forward.
Daddy, what's rimming?
But because this asshole and these people set it up in such a way that they tell you up front. Now, remember, anytime you say drag queen, I'm going to reply as if you're talking about rape, because I think that drag equals rape. And there's no exceptions to that. There's no in between in that. There's no nothing in that. And it's just such a, how do people that purport to follow a loving and caring God end up being so fucking evil? It's just like, how is this,
I don't know.
How is this possible? But they're just evil, nasty people. They just want to cause other people. If you don't look exactly like them, if you don't believe exactly like them, then you should fuck off and go to hell. You should die. It's like that seems to be the modern Christians that I see on television. And I'm just telling you this as a friend. You need to get together with all your other normal Christian friends and say, hey, why don't we maybe call bullshit on these people?
All of my Christian friends, I don't really have any Christian friends, but all of my Christian whoever are not that way. They're the other way, the horrible way. So there's not really anybody I can get together with right now, but I know they exist. I know they exist out there, but Arkansas, man, I mean, it's just like, and I've thought the same thing. It's like, you know, when I was growing up, I thought, oh, all the Christians are so loving and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if it's different now or I was just young and naive, but
You weren't out.
But now I think, well, no, not to me personally, but just like about, you know, just things they would say, not as it related to me.
Right. Because it did relate to you. You were a white Christian. You were amongst them. Right. So yeah, of course they're going to tell you all the nice things.
Right. But I'm saying I'm not thinking about how they treated me. I'm just thinking about in general things I would hear them say. And now that I'm an adult and I've broadened my views, you know, it's like, oh my God, how can you, you know, not want people to have health care or, you know, whatever. So in the chat room, Archer's asking, if your church feels that way, why do you go there and play in the orchestra? First of all, I have no idea how my church feels about anything because I go in and I play music and I leave. I don't listen to the sermon. I don't do any of that. I go in, play music.
Except when they
force us to sit there. But most of the time I don't. I grew up going to church, so it's not like it doesn't faze me. And I won't, this bullshit argument that I shouldn't go to church because you atheists think that I shouldn't support, you know, God or whatever. You know, you can keep saying that, but I want to play my instrument and I'm going to keep going to a church that has a good orchestra.
I don't think anybody is saying that. I don't think anyone is saying that.
I think it's a bullshit argument. Yes, I've been told by Archer just said in the chat room.
I'm not making an argument.
That I shouldn't go to that church. But you know what? I like playing in the orchestra and I'm going to keep doing it because that's something that I enjoy a whole lot.
All right. So tell me about your car detailing. See, this is why I didn't necessarily want to talk about this because I didn't want you to get your feelings hurt.
No, my feelings aren't hurt. I don't know why people feel that way. I mean, I don't know why Christians are so horrible. Like, I don't know. I mean, I
would like to know that. As an atheist, I would like to know why.
But I'm not horrible, and I'm a Christian, so there are some.
I think I qualified all this by saying that most of the people I know who go to church are nice people. My sister, my brother-in-law is like, I know, and their friends. I know them, right? And they don't have a problem with gay people. They don't have a problem with drag queens. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know there are more of them than there are of these other idiots.
I hope that it continues to get better because I feel like it is better than it was when like I was in school, but it's more visible now. But I think, you know, but you know, it's like, I hope because the younger generation is for most of the time, the younger generation is more support, not most of the time, but in general, I feel like a larger percentage of young people are supportive of gay and you know, and trans and all of that, right?
In big part to modern media, right? So it's like the world is much smaller now. It's much easier to find out information about other cultures and other people.
And so my hope is as those people continue to get older and go to church and everything, that it will continue to get more and more modern. And, you know, and so...
But that's not what's happening. What's happening, apparently, at least if you're looking at the numbers out there, what's looking is that younger kids are not going to church, and so what happens is that the average age of these congregations are getting older and older because there aren't new people coming in. I mean, there are some, but not in the same numbers that they were. It's like there's less people under the age of, you know, between 13 and 18 right now. There are less people that consider themselves to be Christian than there were, you know, just 10 years ago. Like it's like, it is a declining number. It's like, if you were to draw the scope, there's like young people purporting to be Christian is declining.
Oh, well, that could be true as well.
Congregations are getting older and older and more set in their ways, right? Because they're in these echo chambers.
So other thing I just want to respond to one more thing in the chat room. So it's being suggested that I join Symphony of Northwest Arkansas. So I just want to make 2 points.
2 points.
I enjoy playing church music.
Yes.
On my trumpet. So a symphony would not help with that. 2, a symphony requires me to audition and to put in a lot of hours of practice because classical music takes a lot of practicing to be doing it. Church music, I can roll in and it's easy, and I can, with my level of ability right now, I can play it, and I don't have to practice 5 hours a day to, like, oh my God, symphony music, you have to transpose all the time and all that kind of stuff. And so all of that stuff requires me to audition, which means I will have to practice a lot to prepare for that audition.
Yes.
But also the music is a much higher level, that not that I couldn't play it, because I could, but I would have to spend a lot of time rehearsing. So what?
I'm waiting for you to talk about car detailing. I feel like this horse is dead.
Okay. Well, the chat room they're really responding to this topic.
Are you going to a 3-shot, or do I have to like figure out how to like bring the chat room into the video version of that?
I am sometimes going to a 3-shot. I wasn't on a 3-shot right at that moment.
No, but they've seen what's been there. That's okay.
Yeah, they have. So now I feel like car detailing is just, I got Marc's car detailed.
Yes, we heard about this on the Geeky Gay.
And I can't decide if they did a good job or not, because you did that thing that you do. You don't need to mention that I talked about it on Geeky Gay. You could just let me talk about it as if I had never done a show called Geeky Gay. You could. Just a thought, just a suggestion, take it how you will.
I figured it would make you feel good that I had already heard this, because I listened to your show religiously, and I was like, yes, Adam, I'm aware of this. You've told me about this.
So, do you feel like I'm personally talking to you when I'm doing Geeky Gay? Like it's just me and you having a chat?
Adam, you and I have co-hosted a podcast for over a decade. Yes. Every time I hear you talk, I assume you're just talking to me. It's just like, that's how it works.
So I'll make this short and sweet. It was detailed. It cost $175. Mm-hmm. When they brought it back, the bugs were still there.
Yeah.
And I cannot determine whether, and he said that, they're etched into the paint and you're going to have to get it buffed and all that. I don't know if that's bullshit, because I don't think I've ever gotten a car detailed in my life.
Okay.
B, I'm not sure if that's a good rate for both inside and outside detailing. So, because I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take my car.
Okay. I can give you some parallels, right? I guess, because we have our cars detailed all the time. So we have a place right up the road here that does detailing inside and out. I pay for my truck. I pay $50, and for
50.
And for Zach's car, I pay $40.
Are they just some homeless people on the side of the road that are with a bucket and they're offering
it's
some
a whole
sponges?
Detail. It's a shop. It's a detail shop. It's like you go and I drop off my truck there, and they get to it when they get to it, and then they call me back and I go and pick it up. But yeah, they do a great job. And I mean, for $50, they do a great job. Now, keep in mind, this is Florida. We have a car wash every 30 feet on the roads. That's just required by law. So it's like, there's plenty of other places I could go and wash my car myself. So there's, if it costs too much to detail your car here, you wouldn't pay it. Also keep in mind that in Florida, we have no salt on our roads. There's nothing like that would cause the problems with your vehicle that you would in the north, where there's snow and salt on the roads and those kind of minerals that, that may corrode things and they need to be washed on the undercarriage or whatever. Like we don't have that here. So it's a much easier place. All I can tell you is what it costs in Florida, which, there's a lot of competition here. So that would keep prices low. The other thing that Kathy Marshall pointed out in the chat room is that the solvents that they used to use would have gotten the bugs off, but they have since forth banned those solvents because they're toxic.
Okay.
And so this is a case where, public safety has reduced the effectiveness of different products for getting things out like that. And so it's a case of there's just no legal product they can use right now to get those bugs out. The approved legal way to do this would be to do a paint buffing or whatever.
Right.
So you could theoretically do some internet sleuthing and find a solvent that would work and take that on yourself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what's the point of paying for a detail if you're going to have to go back and do something yourself, I mean, once
you get the bugs off and they wax it, that's why you want to keep everything waxed, right? Because that way the bugs
I have never once waxed my car in my whole entire life. Not one time have I waxed a car. Never. The only time that I have waxed a car is when you're going through a car wash and they have the wax option. I've never taken a can of wax.
Turtle wax, yeah.
And like, not once.
Waxa on, waxa off.
I've never done that.
Waxa on, waxa
So that was
off.
it. I mean, I think he now thinks it was a good job because now that he's driven around, he sees how clean it is.
You know, it's one of those things. I can't complain too much because I only pay $50, but you know, it's for $50. Yeah, it's a good job here. But you know, if I was paying what you paid, like was it 120 or something like that?
175.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, I would want that better be some like.
You would want them to rim you afterwards.
Which I would want them to rim me. News game. It's the news game. It's the news game. What questions will he ask? It is the Mix Minus News Game. This is the segment of the show where Adam will ask me 5 questions from the New York Times News Quiz, and I, using only my head, brain, and mouth words, will answer those questions. These are all multiple choice questions. I will try to answer them without asking what the choices are, but I am always free to ask for the choices if I do not know. Once I have undoubtedly answered these 5 questions perfectly, we will go into a bonus round where Adam will read as many questions as he can from a Trivial Pursuit card in 60 seconds, and that will be for bonus points. Adam, what is our first question on the old news quiz this evening?
So I was just making sure that I was all set up here. Okay, the first question we have here is former President Donald Trump was arraigned on 34 counts in New York City.
Yay!
All 34 counts accuse him of what crime?
Oh, it's like shady bookkeeping, but it's do any of the answers have bookkeeping in them, or what are my choices?
No, bribery, defrauding investors, falsifying business records, inciting an insurrection, or witness tampering.
Falsifying business records.
Falsifying business records is correct, Daniel. Yes. Number 2.
They're saying in the chat room that every time I sing the news game song, I add more vibrato.
Janet.
No, I don't.
Protasiewicz. I don't know how to say that name.
Did you call her a proto-sea witch? Is that what you just called her?
Protasiewicz.
Uh-huh.
Is what I said.
Yeah, proto-sea witch, yeah.
Protasiewicz. Protasiewicz?
Sure.
Protasiewicz. I don't know. Something. In Wisconsin, a liberal judge in Wisconsin won an election with major implications for abortion rights.
Yes.
What position was she running for?
Oh, Supreme Court Justice.
State Supreme Court Justice. Yes, that is correct.
I didn't feel the need to say state Supreme Court because, you know, the federal Supreme Court is not an elected position. So she would, like, I could run for Washington Supreme Court, but it's not an election, right? You have to be appointed to that.
Okay, number 3. Which team won the women's NCAA basketball tournament, scoring a record 102 points in the final?
Oh, those. Yeah, it was the Pippi Longstockings from...
So these are places: Iowa, Louisiana State, South Carolina, Stanford, or Virginia Tech.
I have no idea. But Archer, who knows even less about sports than I do, says South Carolina, so I'll go with South Carolina.
It is incorrect. It was Louisiana State. I feel like anytime LSU is playing in anything, they're in the choices. You should pick them because they always win things. Because
LSU? Who was LSU?
LSU is Louisiana State University. LSU.
Oh,
the LSU Tigers. Yeah. Okay. So NASA, number 4, NASA introduced the 4 astronauts who will crew the Artemis 2 mission scheduled for next year. What is the purpose of the mission?
I always thought it was like losers suck up or something like that. Like
what? What is the purpose of the mission? What are you
The
saying?
loser, LSU, like loser,
Oh, you're still on that.
selection
No.
unit or something like that. Oh, what was the purpose of the Artemis 2 mission?
Yes.
Oh, they're orbit the moon, right? They're going to go, they're going to do that. They're not going to land on the moon. They're just going to go see if they can go around it.
That is correct. I still don't understand how we landed on the moon before I was even born, I think.
Yep.
And now we're just going to orbit around it. We built
an ILM. We built a whole nother system for landing. Like we built one system to get them out. Like we did this back then too. We sent the Apollo rockets out to see if they could orbit the moon before we sent out the ones to see whether they can land. You have to do it all in stages, right? Because you can't just go to the moon and drop a lander in a brand new system. You got to make sure, can the system orbit the moon? Are there any problems?
Really just did land in the desert somewhere. Maybe we don't know how to do it for real. I'm just kidding. I don't believe that. Don't write me, people.
Was that,
all right,
was
number
that five
5
questions? Oh,
no,
wait, this is 5.
This is 5.
So, excuse me. So this is the final question.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Final question.
For the first time since 2020, states are allowed to remove people from enrollment in Medicaid.
Yes.
How many people did the federal government estimate could lose their coverage?
Millions. But I don't know the exact. It's like I want to say it's like 12 or 15, like somewhere in that. What are my choices?
Less than 400 people, 100,000, 500,000, 1.5 million, or 15 million.
15. I would say 15 million.
That is correct. And the government estimated that 15 million people would lose coverage in the coming months.
Yep. Thank you, Republicans. We love you so much.
That was number 5.
That was number 5. There you go, Adam. I believe I got 5 out of 5
you
right
got
there.
4.
So now,
you got 4 out of 5.
What did I miss? Oh, the South Carolina. One. Oh, of course I'm going to miss the sports. All right. So I got 4 out of 5. Now let's go to the bonus round. That means let's put 60 seconds up on the big board.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
What interstate highway connects Ridgefield Park, New Jersey to San Francisco?
San Francisco. Oh, it goes east and west, so it's got to be even. Interstate 1? No. 10?
1 is not even. It's I-80. What Jackson actually had a million-selling LP called Let's Get Serious? What Jackson?
Let's Get Serious?
Yes.
Jermaine.
Correct. What revolution saw almost every Chinese citizen tote a copy of Mao Zedong's Little Red Book?
The Chinese Revolution. I don't know.
The Cultural Revolution. What's the longest poisonous snake?
The longest poisonous snake?
The longest poisonous snake.
Archer?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
No, it's the cobra. What essential...
Adam. I'm sorry.
I could have kept going, but you always cut me off early. I think you start that earlier and earlier each time. So you're like, oh, we're out of time.
It's because I know that you're not going to finish the question. It's usually the sports question. But you know what, Adam, that's fine because I think like I got 1 bonus point there, which makes a 5 out of 5.
For new listeners, that is not a bonus point.
What did you say, though? What did you say? You said like Interstate 10 is not even? Yes, it is.
No, you said 1.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's not even.
And 1 is not even.
So in my brain, I was like, yeah, it's got to be even. And then I said 1.
Yeah, exactly. That is what you said.
Should have asked Bard. That's what I should have done.
You corrected yourself. You did say 10 eventually, but you started with 1.
You know, Adam, I am the product of the American school system, so that's my only excuse. That is all I can possibly do. Oh, I don't have my email up. Well, that's embarrassing. You know what? Each and every week, our executive producer, Cyclone, sends us a huge, voluminous pile of researched information for us. These are all events that happened on the day that we were recording of some other year. So in this case, it's going to be things that happened on April 7th of some other year. Get it, Adam? Do you get the bit?
Yeah, this is the first time we've been doing it for like 2 years, and I just now, yes.
Just now. Now you understand.
Got
Happy
it.
National Beer Day, Adam.
You as well. I'm not going to drink. You know, since I've started doing this on Geeky Gay, which is my podcast that I do by myself.
Yes.
And I do this day thing every day now, which we've talked about.
Why
now
you
I feel
gotta
like
mention it? Why you gotta mention Geeky Gay? You don't have to mention it.
Now I feel like
Yes.
I need to celebrate that thing. So like it's coffee cake day. I feel like I should go and have a slice of coffee cake.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know why I feel that way, but I do now that but I have not had beer today is what I'm going to tell you.
Well, make sure it wasn't Bud Light. It might get shot out of your hand. Have you seen the little petulant snowflakes with the Bud Light?
No, I have not.
As you know, Adam, well, maybe you don't know. Are you familiar with Dylan Mulvaney?
I've heard the name.
So Dylan Mulvaney is a trans woman who started a series on TikTok called 365 Days of Womanhood, kind of documenting her transition into womanhood over her first year of treatments. And anyway, Bud Light, in order to celebrate her achievement, sent her a 12-pack of Bud Light that had her face etched on it. Like it had a picture of her on the cans.
Yes.
It was a promotional item. They didn't put it for sale anywhere like that. They just sent it to her to congratulate her on her, year of womanhood. The conservative universe has lost their fucking minds, and they're out. There you go. Someone in the chat room has posted the picture of Kid Rock, posted a TikTok where he pulled out I can only assume an illegal automatic rifle and shot up a case of Bud Light. All these Christians are throwing them under their trucks and driving over them and tossing them out. And
why is a Christian drinking beer anyway? I mean, but
that's the thing. Yeah.
But not really. I mean, I know a lot of Christians drink. It's fine to drink all you want. I just going back to the previous topic. You can have whatever belief you want to have, but have it privately. And let people be who they are.
But I just found it funny that they were they were driving over these cases of beer in both Ford and Chevy pickups. Ford and Chevy have run pride campaigns, both of them. Both Ford and Chevy have run pride campaigns. You would be hard pressed to find any large organization that hasn't run pride campaigns before. So if that's your beef, is that Bud Light? Anyway, they call us snowflakes. Remember, they call us snowflakes. Just let that sink in.
Yeah.
Suddenly I was channeling Elon Musk.
It's also National Coffee Cake Day, which I mentioned.
But you've already talked about that on your other show.
And Beaver Day.
You talked about that on your other show.
I didn't talk about Beaver. You
didn't? Well, I'm, as two gay men.
Celebrate your beaver, Daniel.
I don't.
Celebrate your beaver today.
I don't feel that my beaver is something that I should celebrate. I feel that other people should celebrate.
Kegels will help with that. Celebrating your beaver.
On April 7th in 1970, Midnight Cowboy won the Oscar for Best Picture, becoming the first and only X-rated film to do so.
I don't believe I've ever seen that. I don't even know what it's about.
I don't know. It is also the
got
first
on-screen sexual encounter between two men.
Oh, now I feel like maybe I should watch it. Midnight Cowboy. Archer says it's a great movie, which means I probably won't like it. Also on this day in 90, the Walt Disney World Downtown Disney Cage replaces Videopolis East.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat room. I'm so sorry. Andy
On
Scott says, I
downtown
wasn't going to get serious on this, but that last comment makes me think is what he means to say. Let people be any way they want to be stops when what they want to be directly affects what I want to be. Yeah, I'm just saying, and I'm not even saying want to be. I'm saying that's who they are. It's not who they want to be. It's who they are. Just, you can have...
Wait, here's my problem. I don't care. If they want to shoot up Bud Light, they bought the Bud Light. They can do with it whatever they want to.
That's not what I was saying. I was saying the other way around. Christians and these people that have all these horrible views.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You can think that to yourself.
You weren't excusing the people.
No, I'm not.
You were saying, why don't they just let people be who they want to be?
Right. Not who they want to be, who they are. I mean, it's not like, I'm not saying, because that's almost like calling it a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle. It's who you are.
It's a phase, Adam.
Let them be who they are. And if you have a negative opinion of that, that's your brain. But you don't have to put that on people. That's what I'm saying.
In April 7th of 1805, he said, quickly changing the subject, Lewis and Clark departed from Fort Mandan. You know, that looks like Mandan. Like, I'm a man. My name is Dan sometimes, so Fort Mandan.
Fort Mandan.
I was alive.
Actually, that's what you could name your camp. Because I know at some point you're going to end up, you've talked about us living on a commune or whatever with you and Zach. One day you're going to be that old 8-year-old man who owns his own gay campground, basically.
Called Camp
You
Mandan.
can call it Camp Mandan.
Let's see. I don't see anything else interesting here. Nope. I really should read these ahead of time. April 7th, 1970, John Wayne wins Best Actor. So what did he win for? True Grit. He won an Oscar for True Grit.
Do you have a catchphrase or anything? Is there something like, when people think of John Wayne, is there something that he said? I feel in the back of my mind, I feel like there's something there, but maybe not.
Is it that, or is it a mannerism like let me tell you, like,
I mean, that's kind of like a Reagan thing, isn't it?
No, that's I can't do either of these. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. I tried to do an Irish accent, and apparently it was not good at all.
Oh, I wish I had the Chisholm sound clip. I'll have to look for that. No, that's boring. All right, Adam.
We're at an hour and 45 minutes.
Adam, many people have their birthdays on April 7th, and we would like to say happy birthday to some of them now, tonight. Happy birthday, Ed Spielers. You've turned 35. Happy birthday, Jeremy Meeks. You've turned 39. Russell Crowe has turned 59, and Francis Ford Coppola has turned 84. Oh, Ed Spielers, he's the guy from Picard right now. He's Picard's son.
He's your type.
Yeah, no,
based on that picture.
He was on the Downtown Arby's. Anyway, let's see. Who else do we see off this list that we want to say happy birthday to? Nobody. Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan turned 69.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's it.
John Oates. John Oates turned 75. What is it?
Is he Holland and Oates?
Yeah, Daryl Hall and John Oates. John Oates turned 75.
Oh.
Billie Holiday was born on this day, as was James Garner. From each and every one of us here to each and every one of you there, happy birthday. I apologize, Adam, that we're going so long. Go ahead. What did you?
No, it's okay. I'm just letting you know.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Like to go too long.
Remember, we hit record and then we spent a lot of time doing a bunch of other stuff. So it's like there's probably 10 minutes off the beginning of the show that are not actually part of the show.
Oh, could be. You know what I was gonna? So mine's really short. You text messaged me yesterday and you
Adam,
said, "Hey,
we've all seen yours, and it's not short. I mean, it's not the biggest, but it's not short.
It gets the job done." Yeah. So you texted me and you said, "What is your date of birth?" And I thought, is he stealing my identity? Like, I mean, what's going on here? But I gave it to you because I trust you.
You did.
And then you sent me a link to a TikTok. And I think this is an example of where I don't know what the youth are up to nowadays, because
it's the moon phase challenge.
I looked at
It's the moon phase, Adam.
So you're like, there are two moons and they go over each other, and then all of a sudden you come in from the background, really bad green screen looking effect as well, and do a thumbs up. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell the point of this is.
The moon challenge, for the uninitiated, the moon challenge is you take the phase of the moon on your birthday, and you can Google that. You can just say, what's moon phase on, your birthday of your birth year? What is the moon phase? In my case, mine was a waning gibbous, right? So, but what you do is you take two people and you compare the moon phases on their date of birth, and then you bring them together, and if they make a full moon, then they're a good match. So I had a waning gibbous phase on my birthday. You had a waxing gibbous phase on your birthday. So when they line up on top of each other, it makes a beautiful full moon, and that's what I was.
Okay, so we make a beautiful moon together.
Together, you and I. And here's the thing: you have a waxing gibbous phase, as does Zach on his birthday. So for those of you who follow Don't Do Disney on TikTok, we also.
I mean, we've been talking about age a lot in this episode, and I feel like as we get older, we definitely are waning. So just like your moon.
But yeah, no, that was the moon phase challenge. So yeah, I put it up there, and it's gotten some good engagement. Okay, good. So I feel like that's what, it's one of those trends, Adam. That's how you get on the listed on more discovered on TikTok, because you have to follow the trends. So when you're here, we're gonna have to do some of those dances, like some of those dances where you do a lot of this movements, like you're driving a steering wheel. What is it with today's kids and that whole like weird arm thing that they do where they like flip their arm around? Is like that just looks weird. It's just
I don't even know that's a thing.
With your flippy arms.
I don't know.
Back in my day, we did the shuffle.
I have no idea.
Can we go left
Daniel,
and right?
Can we do the Macarena? Is that something we can do? Because I mean, like back in my day, that was the
Macarena, yeah.
Or the what's it called? Slapping Leather was the one that you did with like Boot Scootin' Boogie or whatever. There was a line dance that was popular for a while.
A popular Disney one is they do the drink around the world. So they'll do this is, hi, my name is Adam. This is drink number 1 in Mexico. Hi, my name is Adam. This is drink number 2 in Norway. Hi, this is drink, and it's like, and they get drunker and drunker.
Isn't that just a flex that you're from wealthy parents? Because if you can go to 50 different countries and drink a beer,
there's only 12. There's only 12 pavilions at Epcot. There's only 12 countries.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about 50 beer, 50 different drinks in 50 different countries.
No, this is at Epcot.
Oh, okay.
You're going to be there. You can do it. I feel like we should do this. I'll just have you drink a drink in every single country.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen,
okay.
You'll be asleep before we get to Germany, which, by the way, is the 4th country around.
You mean if I were drinking alcohol? Is what you're saying?
If you were drinking alcohol.
I don't know. If there's a wager between whether it's going to be Zach that's asleep or me, I'm going to go for Zach. What I'm saying. My money is on Zach. Is what I'm saying.
I was expecting a phone call this week from Zach because he took umbrage to some of the things you said about him in the last episode.
About falling asleep?
No, yes. And
I should have videoed it. He fell asleep so much.
He was like, and something, and his palate wasn't very refined. So he was like, he was going to call into our show and give you, the what for.
Well, if he's going to come back and say that his palate is no less refined than mine, I'll agree. Like, apparently people think that I don't have, because I don't like seafood. I'm just saying that he seemed even pickier than me.
You know what? Here's what I'm saying. All right, but you know why people react that way about seafood? Because it is one thing to say, I don't like anchovies. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like what's the one that tastes like soap to some people? I don't like
cilantro.
I don't like cilantro. So these are all individual things, and they're easy enough to work around. And if you know that somebody has, an aversion to onions or whatever, you can avoid using onions and stuff. But seafood is an entire category of things. It's like, that's what I think people find so fascinating is like, there are so many different flavors in the realm of seafood that I don't even know what I don't like seafood means. Like an oyster tastes completely different than a Chilean sea bass.
I mean, I've never had an oyster.
Completely different than a king crab. It's like, these are not things that I would even like say like, oh, they all taste similar.
Look, I have never said that I think it's good, that I don't like it. I don't know what gene I got so I'm not saying, oh, love me, I don't like seafood, whatever. It's a pain in the butt for me as well, because I either have to eat something and hate it, and have a horrible experience, but just grin and be like, oh, great, or whatever. Or I have to not eat it and it is inconvenient for other people because either the person cooking or the people that are picking the restaurant or whatever. I don't know why do people not like things? Why don't you like tomatoes? It's just, but there is an underlying ocean flavor that is on all, I will say fishy is what most people will think. There is an underlying flavor of that the stink of that, the whatever you want to call it, is on every single one of those items.
Yeah, but
that's the flavor that I don't like. I know they all taste different.
I mean,
right?
There are freshwater fish that don't have any kind of ocean taste to them. So, is that included in your sea fish as well? Or seafood as well?
I feel like freshwater fish still have the same fishy taste. So ocean might have been a bad word to choose, but it's a I've lived in the water taste. I don't know. It's a thing. But I'm trying. Like I said, now when we do chef's tables, instead of telling them, hey, I don't like seafood, please give me something different, I just eat the fish course. And if I don't like it, I make a face. I still eat it.
There you go. We will not be here next week. We're going to be here in Florida, fast asleep, because I'm going to have to be getting up very shortly to go and run my race next weekend. But if you follow us on TikTok, we are going to have some TikToks out next week. We'll keep you posted on what's happening with the Instagram stuff. You can find us on TikTok. We are You can find us on TikTok. We are Mix Minus Podcast. Just search for Mix Minus Podcast, and you will.
And apparently, you'll see our moon phases join.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can do so. Contact at mixminuspodcast.com. You can call us on our voicemail line 707-61-DEATH. 707-61-DEATH. And that's about it. Adam, I'm going to see you in like another 4 days or 5 days or whatever.
All right.
This podcast is a proud member of the Pride 48 Podcasting Network. Check out more great shows at pride48.com.